Well, there's a reason they say. Why am I crooked?
The medical care they need with.
Sorry about that. So there's a reason they say three times is the charm. Attempt number 3. Over there, that's the registry. See, there's Mastermind Toys, and over there there's Cruise Authority, some travel agency, and in between there's, in red it says Plates, and then Registry. So Plates is actually the name of this DMV office. You know, in Alberta, right, they call them a registry. In Ontario, they call them Service Ontario. Like every province is different. But this particular location is called Country Hills Plates because this road is Country Hills Boulevard, like the main drag over here. So yeah, yesterday, right, that lady Christina, the only one who seemed knowledgeable enough to do this, I didn't catch her, so she left at 4, and I was here like at 4:10, and she was gone. And then they told me that today she's starting late, like at 10 instead of 8 or 9, and so she'll be here till 6. And so I finished my work, 4 o'clock, drove like 3 kilometers here. I go in, there's like 2 people inside, like in the lineup. So this is the best time of day, from what I understand. Best time of day to go into this registry. By the way, before I forget, let me check. I was actually thinking of asking her while she was doing this, because, you know, they give you this ownership, which looks just like a piece of paper, so I need to make sure when it expires. April 30th. It's like, you know, the ownership or title, like the registration you have to pay every year, right? So I still have until the end of April to upgrade it. Probably will upgrade it for next 2 years, so I don't have to do it every year. And so yeah, drove here, go inside, there's 2 people in the lineup. I look at the clerks, no Christina. My heart kind of sank. I'm not making this up. And I'm thinking, man, I'm gonna just, you know, fight with them. Like, why did you tell me? Because I remember who told me that. Why did you tell me that she would be working today? And then the couple in front of me arguing about something in foreign language, and they are turned towards me, and I'm looking at the clerk. There's a clerk that's done, and she's like like guys, and these guys keep arguing, like their young wife and husband, you know, some, I don't know, Portuguese, Spanish, you know, Mexican. And I said, guys, I touched the shoulder of the lady, said, you know, the counter is open. So they go there, they stay there for 10 seconds, they leave. I'm not sure what's going on, and all other clerks are busy, so this one is open, but I can see she's young, so there's no chance she would be able to do something so complex like this. And I'm thinking, man, I'm screwed. I'll have to come tomorrow again. And I come over, and she says, what can I help you with? And I said, I need Christina. And she says, oh, 1 second. And she goes in the back. There are like 2 doors in there. One seems to be like an office, and then another one seems to be like their, you know, lunchroom, change room, whatever. And sure enough, some 20-30 seconds later, Christina shows up, and she looks at me. I said, yeah, it's me again. I said, I didn't catch you yesterday, so they told me today you're working till late. And she says, did you get that letter that shows when your AZ or 1Q was downgraded? I said, yes. But I said, before I do that, I want to briefly, you know, sum it up, you know, in case you don't remember. So I brought my Ontario license, you know, like the old one. Did she give it back to me? Oh, I think she kept it. Yeah, because you're not supposed to have 2 licenses, but that one expired. But still, I have a real plastic license that says 2010 to 2016, and that's what my recoup was. I said, okay, here's the actual license that shows Class A from 2010 to 2016. And then after that, I had just driver's abstracts for pretty much all years. I said, okay, here's for 2017, you see AZ, 2018 AZ, 2019 AZ. I think one was missing, but then 22 AZ. And I said, okay, this is the last one when I had AZ. I don't have 23 because that's when they downgraded. Here's 24 driver's abstract, and it already shows GZ, or class 5, right? That's when it was downgraded. And she starts to lose patience. I said, okay, I'm getting there. So here's the letter. I showed her the letter, and I was afraid that she would say something, because that stupid driver license history does not show. At the top, it still says Sergei Dratchev, current class license G5. And then the history, it does not show you any classes. You know, when did I get my G? When did I get my D or Y? I mean A. And that's what that other lady was confused about. She says, well, we have no idea when your Class A was issued in Ontario. Do you have a piece of paper that shows when it was issued? I said, no, Christina asked me just for the date when it was downgraded. And that document had that. I told her, I said, on the last page, you will see it shows April 11th, 2023. So less than 12 months ago, Class AZ was downgraded to GZ. And I was holding my breath, you know, thinking that she would say, oh, we need to see when A was issued. And she says, no, that's all I need. I'm like, okay. She made copies of all these documents just in case, all these driver's abstracts I gave her, because yeah, that's plenty of proof, you know. I held that license for so many years. And then she says, okay, I'm gonna give you your old license, but she says you cannot use it. If cops stop you, just show them this. Don't show them this. This is only for your ID purposes, because it's still, you know, you look at it, it's still kind of like a valid license. You know, it's like if you go anywhere, can I see your ID? That's what it is. So it's no longer a driver's license, because she gave me this. Hold on one second. I cannot show you the front, but it looks like this, right? A piece of paper. Interim driver's license. Client's name, driver's license number, class 1. Condition Q, air brakes. Registry agent office, the number here, who did it, who gave it to me, transaction number, issue date March 21st, 2024. And she was showing me something on a piece of paper that now the license will expire in 27, I think. But because of the medical, now with this license, every 2 years, I have to do a medical. Okay. And then once I reach 65, I have to do it every year, which of course is a pain in the butt, but you know, it's a good incentive to stay healthy. And I asked her, I said, you know, I still couldn't believe it. So I said, is this active right away? So can I, once you give me this, can I just jump into a tractor trailer and drive it? She says, yeah. And I'm thinking, okay, so how much you gonna charge me? Because I remember reading online, it was like the most expensive license, you know, when you get it new for the first time, the most expensive license is class 1. And I believe it was $250 Canadian. Like class 3 or D in Ontario was $150. So basically, the higher your class, the more expensive it is. And I was thinking, okay, which account shall I use, you know, because finances are tight. I still haven't seen I'm not going to see my paycheck, right, until the end of the month from this new job. And Christina says, it'll be $13 today. And I look at her, I said, 13, 1-3? She says, yeah. I said, okay, I can do that. I said, Visa. And she says, oh, I recommend you use a debit because with Visa there's extra fees. I said, okay, I got it covered. So I can afford 13 bucks. But anyway, wanted to address some comments. Again, I still don't feel sorry I did this because I was burned out. Guys, in October 22, I was totally burned out. I had zero intention of going back to trucking. Okay, I was so fed up with it. I mentioned this before. I couldn't look at trucks. You know, when I was driving across US on that big vacation from Buffalo, New York to Kalispell, Montana, and then into Alberta, I couldn't, well, you know, there was no curiosity. Like before, you know, I would look at trucks. Okay, Volvo, okay, K-Wolf, Peterbilt, you know. Now I'm driving, I'm whistling, I'm enjoying my life, you know. I was so happy just to be off the leash. There's no loads to deliver, no appointments, you know. And I was 110% sure I will never get back to trucking, okay? And when you have that, you come to Alberta, and they say, what class license do you have? Like, why would I want to go and do medical every 2 years if I don't plan to, you know, drive a truck again? And, you know, because with class 5, there's no medical. Like, I think if I had class 5 right now, the next medical is when I turn 70 years old. You know, unless you start bumping into light posts, they might send you for a medical, but basically, but basically, there's no medical. There's no medical, and same with class 3. Okay, so by the way, if I downgrade my license to class 3, let's say I lose a leg or something, right? I don't want to do medical. I can downgrade it to class 3 because they have no medicals, right? And then I can just drive a dump truck. But right now, that's it. It was such a push. It required so much energy, you know. But now I can drive a tractor trailer with unlimited amount of axles, with air brakes. I can drive a shunt truck somewhere, you know, somewhere in the yard. Sometimes they pay pretty good. I can drive a dump truck, you know, garbage truck, container truck, I don't know, anything. I can drive a bus, which is unique to Alberta, because one allows you class 2 capability. So I can drive a large bus, I can drive a small bus, and class 1 opens class 4. So now, if I wanted to, I can apply for Uber taxi or just go work for a taxi company because I have class 1 now. I don't need class 4, it's already inside. I can drive an ambulance, which requires class 4, and I can drive a bus up to 24 passengers. That's class 4, but actually, since class 1 gives me class 2, so unlimited amount of passengers. So, you know, so if I could, let's say, get a job, you know, like I mentioned this before, in Fort McMurray, sometimes they have these fly-in, fly-out jobs for like bus drivers, you know. You're a bus driver and you just take workers from the camp to the mine, you know. But I don't know if I can do that kind of like repetitive stuff, you know, like they're probably doing, I don't know, 2-3 trips a day, same road, same destination. I don't know. I would probably shoot myself, you know. Like at least at this job I'm doing now, we are all over the place, you know, which makes it interesting. And these trucks are unbelievable. So far, I still haven't had a chance to drive the Freightliner, the flatbed truck. So I only drove the Ford F-350 and the Ram 3500, right? And today the Ram was gone, so I jumped into the Ford, and I really like the torque on this one better. You know, the sound is amazing. This thing is zing, zing, zing. Got stuck, by the way, today. There was a tricky situation where I was supposed to pick up some scaffolding, and there was a garbage container on the side of the road, and I'm coming there, and I thought I would stop next to the container, and I hit the brakes. All of a sudden my truck starts sliding towards the container because it's like slopes, and I almost hit the mirror, but thankfully on the Ford you can fold them, so I fold the right mirror, so there was still like this, maybe less than a foot away from the container, and I try to go backwards, the nose starts going towards the container. I go forward, the tires are spinning. And so the guy behind me in the dump truck, I asked him, I said, do you have a chain? Maybe you can pull me? He says, no chains, but he says, I have a shovel. So I took his shovel and I cleaned up the snow in the back under the tires. Try again, going backwards, forwards, nothing. Then some guy comes out, the construction guy, he says, hey, if you want, I can pull you out. I said, what do you have? He says, oh, a 4x4. I said, I have a 4x4 and I'm stuck. And then he looked at my knob in there. I said, I tried 4 high, I tried 4 low, nothing. And then actually it occurred to me, wait a second, maybe I should try the differential lock, right? You can just pull that knob towards you and it says differential lock. So I did that, and right away I was able to get out, like away from the container. And then I backed towards the house where all my scaffolding was sitting. And some of these customers are funny, I dropped it off this morning and everything is untouched in the same spot. It doesn't even look like they used anything, I don't understand. Probably they ordered something and they decided it was not the proper scaffolding. I don't know. Because they ordered like this, the frames were big, like 5x5 feet, but the decks were short, and like it was a kind of like a simpler version of the scaffold. But yeah, I did a bunch of scaffold today, then delivered the one generator. Remember the generator that got stolen? So I check in the morning with the dispatch and he says, your first delivery is a generator. And he says, it's going to those guys where they lost it. And I said, are they going to pay for it? He says, oh yeah. Because he says, we found your pictures from your dash cam, right? We showed that the driver was there and you told us where you put it. And so I took it over there. I called the guy again on the phone. Again, there's nobody there. Well, there's people working, but they have nothing to do with the guy who ordered the generator, because it's all these different contractors, different crews, right? I called the guy again. I said, okay, is this the house on the corner? Yes. Okay, I'm going to drop it in the back right next to the garbage container. Okay. He says, I'm going to call the guys there. They're going to bring it further in, that nobody steals it. But it's all open, right? There's no doors, there's no walls. It's like still a structure, So no wonder they keep stealing this stuff, especially no generator. I asked the mechanic in the shop, I said, what do you think this is worth? I said, $1,000. He says, oh, more. He says, probably $1,500. So imagine, if somebody stole that, they can probably sell it for $500 in 2 seconds and, get a bunch of free weed, or some beer. So anyway, same type of generator, like it was pretty heavy, but thankfully, I was able to grab a cart and then drove it to the back of the truck, put down my lift gate, drag it on the lift gate, and then drag it from the lift gate when it was down in the snow to that spot. It was pretty difficult, but I did it. Yeah, I was cruising around, like it's similar areas day in, day out, but once you do 20 kilometers one way, then you do a pickup 30 kilometers. I'm all over the place, all over the city, so it's actually pretty interesting. And they give you these nice trucks, even though they're very old, but touch wood, everything works, lots of power, like unbelievable. Like I'm so happy. And then I see this other guy, the lead driver. He drove out what I think will be my Freightliner, the older one, and he parked his truck, the newer one, in that truck spot for some reason. So he took it out. I don't know what he was wanting to do, but I came over. I said, hey, I cleaned it up the other day, right? I was checking all the tires. I said the front is 95 psi, rear is 86. He didn't say anything, turned around and went back into the cab. So I don't know if they will put the air in or not, but I'll tell them that if I have a flat tire, I warned you that it's low on air. If I have a flat tire on the road, I'm not responsible, okay? Because it's always a fight with employers about tire pressure. I'm serious. Like I talked to the shop. I said, how do I fill up the tires? You guys have the chock and the air hose. And the guy said, yeah, but how much pressure do you need? I said, well, it's 95 in the front, 86 in the back. I think I need about 100 psi, because the tires are pretty big. And the guy says, I don't think our compressor will go as high as 100 psi. The other day, he says, I was trying to fill up something and I only needed 80 psi, and it took a lot of time and the compressor was struggling. And so I said, okay, I'll just talk to the lead driver, tell him, and see where he goes. Probably he goes to some truck stop or something to fill it up. But they're really nice, like a big truck, automatic transmission. It's like driving a car, of course, except it's bigger and it has that cool remote for the bed. You no longer need to touch the levers on the driver's side in the back there. So it's a very cool truck, even though it's older, but now it's clean inside. So I'm ready to jump into that one. But for now, I understand basically what they're doing is they're using me as an overflow driver. Like this lead guy or my former trainer, he just delivers all these scissor lifts, airlifts, cool stuff, forklifts, bobcats. But as soon as there's something like scaffolding, he's not the guy. They give it to me, kind of like I'm the green guy at 62. But it's okay, Like actually, the boss was asking me before he hired me. He says, "You realize that most guys here are much younger than you. You have a problem with that?" I said, "No, I don't have a problem with that. I have a sense of humor, and most guys are very nice, like mechanics, super nice guys. Very easy to talk to. So I don't know. So far, I like it. Yeah, it's a bit heavy, but it's already been a week. I already found a way how to carry these. The most difficult part is these freaking frames, 5 by 5 feet. The frames for scaffolding. I already found a way how it works for me. It's much easier to carry them. And what I do now, instead of jumping in and out of bed each time, what I do is, let's say I'm unloading, so I grab one and I drop the lift gate, like this is the floor of the truck. I drop the lift gate like this, and then I bring one frame, put it down against the tailgate, take another one, put it like this, then another one. Let's say today I had 6, and then I jump out, and then I grab each one and I put it in the pile, which is only like 2 meters away, say 5 feet. So this way it's much easier. Instead of this other guy, he was showing me, he would grab one, jump off, put it in the pile, jump back on a tailgate, grab another one, put it back in the file, which is crazy. Why are you doing that? Hold on one second. Yeah, the guy was. Oh, wait a second. What am I? Yeah, the guy was backing very close to me. I always get nervous. But at least he's backing, which is very rare, right? You see me, I'm backed. Like the curb is over there, I'm backing. But recently when I was doing deliveries, sometimes if I need to do it quickly, I just drive in now, But if I'm gonna stay longer, I back in. But if it's like 1 minute, 2 minutes, I just drive in, forget it, and then drive out. But I still find it's more risky, especially in a busy parking lot, to drive out. I mean, when your nose is in, then you have to back out. You cannot see anything when there's cars next to you, right? So yeah, today is, I feel super happy today. What's today? 21st. So March 21st, 2024. So now I'm no longer a private or corporal. I'm back into, I get back my captain's rank. And I asked this lady, Christina, I said, can I get you something like a pizza or a fruit cup? And she smiled. She said, no. Because I'm pretty sure, it's a government office probably. They're not allowed anything. But I shook her hand, There's a window, and the window has an opening in the bottom. And all I had to do was, she says, check your information on the slip before she did the final issue. I checked everything, my height, address, class. I said, where's class 1? She says, over here. I said, oh, okay. Okay, she says, sign here in 2 spots. And then she says, we need one more. And I'm thinking, wait, she never checked my vision. Because every day I was doing, eye exercises. And I know that they always check your vision, right? They have that machine, where you have to look inside. And I keep doing my exercise. I do like circles with my eyes, okay, I'm gonna show you guys. It's gonna be very funny. But what I do is, what I discovered works is just you do circles like this, like one way, let's say 30, and then another way 30, and you just keep your head, motionless, and you just do like this, which looks really weird. If somebody catches you doing this, people are like, what the? But then I started doing more exercise. I started doing this, like basically just moving your eyes. And I do 30 by 2. Like I do, let's say this is 1, 2, 3. And I do 30 like that, and then up and down. 1, 2, 3. And it looks stupid, I understand, but this shit works. I'm telling you. This improves your eyesight if you're not too far gone. And as you can see, I was able at age 62, I was able to get class 1 with no glasses. I'm not wearing glasses when I'm reading or driving. So that means that something I'm doing is working. And so these exercises, I always, when I was doing these in Ontario, I think it was every 3 years, actually. Maybe it's before 60. Yeah, I think it's probably, before 60 years of age. The medical was every 3 years. What I would do is, when I knew that my medical was due soon, I would start doing these exercises, like circles. And I did not do these, but I did also, how another one you can do is just grab a pen and put it like around like 1.5 feet away from you, and you focus on the pen, on the tip of the pen, and then you focus at the point, like, infinity, right? And so that also, but I find that it's not very effective. I don't know. But basically, you just switch focus from the top of the pen to, let's say, something in the distance at the same spot, So that's another one. But basically, these exercises work. I think there's a bunch of books about this. If you look on Amazon, because they really work, Because I hate to start wearing glasses because I know for a fact that once you start wearing glasses, your eyesight will get worse. And then there's nothing you can do except getting bigger and thicker glasses. I don't want to do that, If I can fix it myself, I can fix it. So yeah, big day today, boys and girls. Unbelievable. I still had my doubts, when I was coming here. I still thought that something would go wrong again. But no, she took a copy of my medical. I said, you have my medical, right? She took a copy. That was the last thing she needed. Couple of signatures. Didn't even check my vision with those machines, because she saw that it's on the medical. It shows you they checked my eyesight. But this time I barely passed, So I'll keep doing this exercise. Usually what I do is, when I wake up in the morning, when I'm still lying in bed, I do a couple of these circles, and then, horizontal movements like this. And it looks weird, but it works. So anyway, the plans now, since I have 1Q, at least now I can modify my resume. I can just pay closer attention to what's out there, because actually I did see quite a few nice jobs, for class 3, class 1, but I don't want to disappoint the guy that just hired me last week, you know, so I want to stay for a few months, you know, because they gave me a chance, and it would be just totally disrespectful, you know, just to leave all of a sudden. And also it's good exercise, you know, I need to get healthier. I think that slightly higher blood pressure is gone, but I'm not measuring it again because it only makes me nervous. So, but I feel pretty good, Larry. So now I don't drink. I think yesterday I had a glass of wine. That's it. But all these like 10 days or something, I was just having some non-alcoholic beer. You know, so boozing is behind me. So no more boozing. Gotta stay healthy. Okay, so those are the news, boys and girls. So hopefully, I was thinking by the end of the year, today's what? I started March, right? No, February. January, February, March. No, wait, now it's March, right? Okay, so April will be 1 month at this job. So March, April, May, June, July, August, September. Or maybe September. September it'll be 6 months. So maybe it'll be okay to try, you know, especially since the fall is still construction season, right? Because if I try to get a job on a tractor trailer in December, it might not be very easy. By the way, working in a couple of loads. One of my former customers reached out. He's moving something from Michigan to Eastern Canada. So if somebody has a RGN or a pintle hitch, he has 2 machines that have to go on the RGN, and they're like 68,000 pounds, basically a grinder. And then 2 other machines are a smaller version of that. I forgot the size, but I can provide details if somebody's interested. Just send me an email. But yeah, it's shipping from Michigan into Eastern Canada. So it's only for cross-border carriers. And yeah, RGN trailer or pintle hitch. And he also has a partial load. He says it'll take 17 feet. It's just basically a small machine on its own trailer. It's legal height, legal width. It can be just loaded on a regular flatbed or step deck. So 17 feet from Michigan to Toronto. So the first one, Michigan to Eastern Canada, is about 1,200 miles. Okay, thanks.